Greetings, team. It's Sarah Griffith. Today, I want to talk to you about what do you do or what do you say after you send that invite. So, yesterday's video, I talked to you about the vital behaviors and how important it was to send invites every day to your upcoming challenge group. And some of you are probably thinking, this is great and this is exciting, but I don't know what to say. But more so, I don't know what to say when they write back to me. That's where some of you tend to get nervous or feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. First things first, I want you to reach out to your upline as you're starting these conversations. If you ever feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know the answer to this, there's a couple things you can realize. Number one, Google. You can sometimes Google stuff. Number two, the back office has an FAQ, so a frequently asked questions section. So you can just if you have a question like, is there, this ingredient in Shakeology? You can just Google it, and a lot of times the Beachbody FAQs will come up. So you can almost find the answer to most all of your questions without having to ask us. But in the beginning, I know that some of you are going to have a lot of questions, so it's okay to just simply say, real quick, I need help. Realize that, we're not going to answer your questions for the rest of your coaching career every time. We want you to learn how to do this by yourself. I told you I was a teacher, so teachers are all about I do, we do, you do. So we want you to be able to field these answers, but just know that for the most part, every single answer to your question is out there if you can look. So use that FAQ option as often as you can, but just know that we're here to help you. Now, what I want to talk to you about specifically is how do you get the conversation going so that you don't feel like you overwhelm them? Because that often is something that happens with new coaches. They get excited because somebody wrote back to them. You invited them to the challenge group and all they wrote was, actually, yeah, I'm interested. Can you tell me more? And you're like, oh my gosh, I need to tell them everything. I need to tell them about the challenge group and Shakeology and how it's changed my life. And you just get so excited that you want to run with it. I've totally been there. But I want you to understand that the best way to approach this is to let them lead this conversation. Know that they have questions for you. They definitely do. And they will ask them as you get the conversation started. But it's important that you don't, this isn't a good analogy, but you don't want to jump in bed with them before you go on a date with them. Meaning that you need to ask them questions. How's your nutrition right now? Where do you find yourself struggling? Is it late night stress eating? Are you hitting the drive-thru for breakfast in the morning? What does your water consumption look like? What's the stress in your life look like? Have you had any recent change or recent stress in your life that's maybe causing your body to hold on to the weight or whatever, if that's the reason why they're reaching out to you? For some of them, they may not have exercised in 10 years, or they may hate exercise. You need to find all that out before you tell them about a portion control container system or how great Shakeology is. You need to get to know them better. Even if it's someone who you think that you know, ask these specific questions. Say to them, all you can say is this: I'm so glad that you're interested. I would love to help you. I need to learn a little bit more about why you are interested. So let's just start with your nutrition. How is it? And just pretend that you're talking to your best friend. How would you ask your best friend? What are you struggling with? What are you hung up on? And get that conversation going. Once they share with you I call it your why. Once they share with you their why, now you can start to dive a little bit deeper. And you can say to them, okay, you said you struggle with portion control? Okay. And how long has it been since you said you've exercised? Oh, 10 years? Okay. I think you should start with something low impact. Do you like dancing? You do? Okay, perfect. I have a program in mind for you. It's called Country Heat. Can I send you over a video about it and you let me know what your thoughts are? Or they say, no, I don't like dancing. You say, okay, I have a couple other options. Let me send you some information about that and we'll go from there. I think of it as like playing tennis. It's back and forth, back and forth. You don't want to just hit a home run and sell the challenge pack. You want to play tennis with them. Not forever, because you want to make the sale, but you want to get to know them better. And you want to dive in deeper, because here's what's going to happen. When you know their why, you know what they're truly struggling with, and you know what they're interested in, they are going to be so much less likely to say, how much is that again? Oh, it's $160. Not interested. Because here's what will happen sometimes. They'll message you, and they'll say, how much is this? Great. I'm so glad you're interested. That answer is going to depend on what you're interested in. Can you tell me more about yourself and your situation? I don't answer that question right away because, guys, as much as I love Beachbody On Demand All Access, it's not a one-size-fits-all. Is that the program that I sell the most? Yes, because it's giving them digital access to all the workouts. It is the best deal. It's not the best deal if you don't have good Wi-Fi and you live in the country, right? These are all questions I have to ask you. Shakeology may not be good if you're allergic to a certain ingredient that's in Shakeology, right? Maybe you need to look at Daily Sunshine. Or maybe you're about to do 80-day obsession and you've never used a pre-workout or a post-workout. I'm going to tell you right now, I did 80-day obsession. If you want to do that program, without those 2 supplements, you're going to be a hurting puppy. It's hard. And so I think you need to be able to explain those things to them and ask them the questions. What are your goals? How long are you going to be at this? So when you can get to know them better, they're going to be so much less likely to tell you no. What I do from here, so once I ask all these questions, I make my recommendations. In the back office, if you go under Grow My Business, there is a section where it's called Shareable Media. And under Shareable Media, there's different programs, there's All Access, there's Shakeology, the Performance Line, there's information about all of it. You go in, you copy that link, and you send it to them. And you let them watch videos or learn more about it. There's great videos in there. Share them and say, take a look at these. Send me a message once you've watched them. Let's go from here. And that's how my conversations really start. I let them lead the car. I give them their options, and I share with them how I think it could work. But I don't just say, everybody who joins me needs to do the 21-day fix, because that's not going to work for everybody. You might be a runner and your goal is flexibility and you don't really care about weight loss, then I need to suggest PiYo to you. So you guys will get better at learning what to suggest as you get into the business longer, as you do more of our programs. That's why we always tell you to be a product of the product. But nonetheless, once you send that video over to them and they're like, yeah, this is it, I like it, I'm interested, I say to them, great, and this is exactly what I say, and I like to feel like I'm leading the car or leading the train or whatever you want to call it. I like to be the one who's in charge here. The ball is in their court, but now the ball is in my court. Here's what I say to them. I'm so glad you're interested. As long as you don't have any more questions, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to send you over to the link to purchase. So that's when I send my link. Once you make that purchase, let me know. I'll do 2 things from there. I'm going to send you over an invite to the challenge group. You're going to want to download the My Challenge Tracker app, and I will get you added in. Boom. That's one thing. Now, this is something that I do in addition. You don't have to do this, but I will share it with you in case you want to do this. This is really helpful. So I have a Google form that I created. You could use any type of form, and I call it my new client health assessment. I have them fill this form out. It goes into a Google spreadsheet. I get to keep it. I get to put them in my customer database, basically, but I ask the questions that I may not have asked in that initial message. I ask them, are you taking any medication? What am I to do if I feel that you're falling off the wagon? Do you want an email? Do you want a text? Do you want me to leave you alone? What do you want? I ask some of these questions, so I'll show them to you. But I send that to them, and I say, fill that out. We'll get ready to get started. The group starts on Monday, April 16th. You'll see content from me in there starting on that date, but in the meantime, you're going to want to download the app. Your stuff will be to you in about 5 days. Let me know when it gets here. And that's it. I led that train. I didn't say, let me know if you ever want to join the group. No, I said, I'm glad you're interested. Here's the next step. People need to know, what is the next step? Be very clear, very intentional. The group is starting on this day. Now, some people will say, what happens if I send the link or, we have this conversation and it stops? Okay, that's okay. It'll happen. It will. Sometimes it'll stop and you won't hear back from them for several months. But here's what you're going to do. It's following up, and I'll teach you more about follow-up soon. But all you would simply say, if it's been like 3 days and you haven't heard from them, I send them a voice message. Or if it's Instagram, I send them a video message of me. And I say, hey, I sent you over that information. I know how much you said and use what they told you in the beginning, what they're struggling with. I really want to help you, but I can't help you if I don't hear back from you. Challenge group starting on Monday. I had reserved a spot for you. I need to know if you still want that spot. If you don't, I'm going to give it to somebody else who was interested. And I leave it at that. I say, let me know either way. That's big. It's just kind of like a courtesy thing. And most of them will say, I totally forgot. I want to join you. I just need to make the purchase. Or they'll say, you know what? Money's tight this month. I changed my mind. And I'll say, great. Do you want me to reach out to you next month? Or would you like me to wait a few more? I don't say, bye-bye, talk to you never. I say, I'll talk to you soon. And I make it very clear I'm not going anywhere. So I hope these tips are helpful for you as you send your first invites. Don't let inviting be scary. Let it be exciting. This is how you find your potential customers who you can help who need you. Every time I sit down to invite, I tell myself, I give myself some positive affirmations, and I say, like, you are going to change somebody's life with this invite. And I believe it. And when you believe that, it's not scary to send invites anymore. So, anyways, do us a favor. Please, as we go through this training, if you have questions with your conversations, please do not hesitate to post them in this training group, because chances are other people are going to have the same questions or get the same questions back from potential clients. So please, leverage the group and share as often as you need to. All right, have a great day.